Do you believe that in this world there are still villages hidden so much that the map misses their names, where people live in harmony with rocks, clouds, and ancient memories? Not bustling tourist destinations, these villages exist silently like gentle breaths in history, only appearing when you know how to listen. It is that humility that makes us want to stay forever, as if we have just found a part of our soul that has been lost in the noisy world. Hidden among the steep cliffs of the Himalayas, Phugtal Monastery appears like a dream suspended between heaven and earth. Not everyone has the opportunity to set foot in this place. The Tibetan Buddhist monastery was built in the 12th century. Located at an altitude of more than 4,000 meters above sea level. Only accessible by a 16 kilometers long trail, the journey to Phugtal is like a pilgrimage, where every step is a challenge and meditation. In the ancient cave carved into the cliff, more than 300 monks live and practice, their chanting echoing among the wind and the sound of the stream, creating a supernatural harmony. Here, time seems to stand still. Nature and spirituality merge into one, as if the mountain is also meditating. Phugtal is not only a place of shelter for humans, but also a sacred place for rare species such as the Himalayan black bear, a testament to the absolute harmony between humans, nature, and ancient beliefs. From the sacred cliffs of Phugtal Monastery, the spiritual journey leads us to a world that seems to exist only in legend, Zhangjiajie, China. Here, the towering mountains seem to pierce straight into the clouds, quietly appearing like ancient dragons guarding a kingdom forgotten by time. Avatar it was this surreal landscape that inspired the movie Avatar. And standing in the middle of that sky-high stone forest, we understand why everything is so unreal, so majestic, so vivid, like a dream. Small villages like Shaowai, nestled on the cliffs, are places where time stands still. The people here, mostly of the Xiang ethnic group, still preserve the customs of their ancestors in the same way they preserve each field and each path on the mountainside. Amidst the misty fog, the sound of the wind, and the babbling brooks, Zhangjiajie is more than just a destination. It is a miracle of nature, a magical combination of stone, forest, clouds, and the memories of our ancestors still echoing in the white-haired cliffs. And then, from the legendary stone forest of Zhangjiajie, we fly through the clouds to an equally strange land. Göreme, the fairy tale heart of Cappadocia, Turkey. Here, nature not only creates landscapes, but also carves memories. Conical stone towers rise from the ground like giant candles lit by time, the result of millions of years of eruptions and erosion. In the midst of this landscape, humans have created miracles. Monasteries, chapels, and cave dwellings were carved into the soft rock thousands of years ago, hiding the soul of a Christian civilization in the middle of the rocky desert. Göreme is not just an open-air museum, but a place where memories still live, where you can step into a small cave and feel the breath of those who once prayed, lived, and loved in the heart of the mountain. In the early morning, hundreds of hot air balloons rise from the valley, like dreams released into the pink sky. In that moment, Göreme makes us believe that there are lands that not only exist, but also whisper to our hearts in a very ancient, very light, and very deep language. Leaving Göreme, where the rocks tell stories and the sky dreams, we continue to drift north to a corner of the world as quiet as the whisper of time. Gásadalur, a lonely village in the middle of the ocean in the Faroe Islands. With less than 24 residents, this place seems to be off the bustling map of the modern world. Gásadalur is not noisy, not ostentatious. It just exists quietly among the 300-meter-high glyphs, like a secret preserved by the sea and the sky. From the village, the Mulafosser waterfall falls straight into the sea, white as a silk strip in the cold wind. The sound of falling water blends with the sound of the sea breeze, creating a gentle and deep symphony. The mossy green roofs, the small deserted streets, give the feeling of entering a forgotten Nordic fairy tale world. Gásadalur is not just a place to go. It is a place to listen to the silence, to remember something in our hearts that was once peaceful, once dreamy, before life became too noisy. Nestled on the Pacific coast, the city of Acapulco in the state of Guerrero, Mexico, has long been known as a symbol of tropical beauty and endless charm. The steep cliffs where La Quebrada divers make spectacular jumps into the blue water have become an indispensable image in the memories of visitors who have set foot here. The city is not only famous for its endless golden beaches, but also for being a place where modernity and tradition intersect. During the day, visitors can stroll along the gently curved Acapulco Bay. Like a smile, visit the colorful local markets and enjoy fresh seafood specialties. When night falls, Acapulco lights up with bustling bars and enchanting Latin music. Despite its many upheavals, the city still retains its romantic and wild soul, a living testament to the timeless beauty of the Mexican Riviera. From the bright lights of Acapulco, the journey takes us to a completely different land, the lower Omo Valley in Ethiopia, where time seems to slow down amid wild savannas and rivers that meander like the veins of human history. This is not only a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but also the cradle of ancient tribal communities such as the Mursi, Hamar, and Karo, people who have maintained traditional customs for centuries. In the bright African sunlight, one can see women wearing lip plates, mysterious dance rituals, and the bustling sound of drums that seem to echo from the beginning. Lower Omo is more than just a valley. It is a living museum of human cultural diversity and evolution. It reminds us that beauty comes not only from the sea or the city, but also from the pristine lands where people and nature still blend together to the ancient rhythm of the earth. From the primitive tribes of the Omo Valley, where people still live as they did in the early days, the journey unexpectedly takes us to a scene that seems completely opposite. Setenil de las Bodegas, a magical village in southern Spain where rocks are not only the foundation but also the roof. Unlike anywhere else in the world, Setenil is not built on a cliff. It is hidden in the heart of the rock, as if people and nature have made a pact to live together in silence and harmony. The small streets weave under the giant boulders hanging overhead, making people feel overwhelmed and fascinated. Under the cool shade of the rocks, the white houses appear like notes on an ancient Andalusian melody, humming with the aroma of wine and the sounds of everyday life. Here, the past is not forgotten, but is resurrected every day, in the lime walls, the small shops, and the smiles of the villagers. Setenil makes us believe that true beauty does not come from grandeur, but from the gentle harmony between nature and people. Leaving Setenil, where the rocks embrace the roofs like an eternal hug, we follow the Iberian Peninsula to Monsanto, the legendary stone village of Portugal, where the rocks are not just a landscape, but a destiny. Here, the houses do not avoid the rocks, but embrace them, blend into them, as if humans and nature together build a unified entity. There is a house nestled under a large rock that looks like the sky is about to collapse. Yet it has survived for centuries, still standing there, peaceful and resilient. Monsanto is like a granite maze, where every small alley leads us to an ancient time. On the top of the mountain are the ruins of an ancient Moorish fortress, from which you can see the vast and poetic Portuguese countryside. But the true beauty of Monsanto lies not only in the scenery, but in the feeling of living in time, where every stone carries its own memories, and every step we take seems to be talking to ancient souls who have never left this hill. After getting lost in the primitive world of Lower Omo, the journey takes us to Santa Cruz de la Palma, a charming gem nestled among the Atlantic mists, in the Canary Islands, Spain. This city is like a gentle symphony between the turquoise of the sea and the soft gray of volcanic rocks, where each ancient stone path leads past wooden houses with bright balconies, covered with bougainvillea and the smell of sea salt wafting in the wind. Santa Cruz de la Palma is not noisy, not hurried. This place has a slow pace of life, as if time voluntarily stopped to admire the serenity of the island. On moonlit nights, one can hear the gentle lapping of the waves at the foot of the embankment, and the sound of a guitar echoing from a balcony, making one's heart sink for a moment of peace. This small town does not need to try to impress. It is its authenticity, simplicity, and charm that has left a deep impression on those who have visited. From the colorful streets of Santa, where the ocean caresses colonial memories, we cross the Ionian Sea to set foot on Corfu Old Town, the ancient pearl of Greece, where the past and present blend together like the scent of lemongrass on the sea breeze. Beneath the ancient stone walls is a cultural treasure woven from more than 4 millennia, ancient Greece, Rome, Byzantine, and especially 400 years of Venice's shadow still imprinted on every wrought iron balcony and cobbled square. Corfu does not try to tell a story. It whispers in the sunlight pouring through the grapevines, in the sound of shoes tapping on the cobblestone alleys, and in the aroma of coffee wafting from the roadside shops. The old walls are not cold, but warm, like an unfinished diary. This is not just an ancient city, but a beautiful harmony between Mediterranean civilization and the human soul, making us want to get lost forever. And when leaving Corfu, where the stones still whisper in ancient Greek, we return to Portugal, where Sintra hides like an untold fairy tale. Amidst the green jungle, the mist rolls around the palace roofs and spires, as if hiding something sacred and mysterious. Sintra is not a town, but a dream painted in stone, moss and shimmering light. The most prominent is the Peña Palace, where every architectural detail seems to come from a brilliant imagination. Gothic, Renaissance, Moorish, all blend together like a cultural symphony. On the high hills, castles seem to hang in the clouds, reflecting on the valley, where flowers bloom brilliantly all year round. But Sintra is not only about architectural beauty. It is also a slow flow of emotions, where people slow down, listen to the whispers of the forest, of ancient stones, and of themselves. Here, the past is not only preserved, it is alive, breathing with the trees, the clouds, and the footsteps of visitors. Sintra makes us realize there are places that cannot be understood by reason. They can only be felt by the heart. Leaving the dreamy palaces of Sintra, we follow the Apennine Mountains to find a small but proud kingdom in the sky, San Marino, the oldest surviving country in Europe. Founded in 301 AD by a stonemason fleeing religious persecution, San Marino is not just a refuge, but a living symbol of the desire for freedom and extraordinary resilience. From the three ancient fortresses on the top of Mount Titano, we can look out to the distant Adriatic Sea, where the sky touches the horizon in a breathtakingly peaceful way. There is no airport, no noisy sounds of a big city. San Marino is like a stream of history preserved in a crystal bottle, where each paving stone seems to have witnessed centuries of ups and downs. Amidst the ancient cobblestone streets and the vast olive groves, San Marino teaches us that greatness lies not in size, but in the soul. In the way a people have kept their identity for more than 700 years without bowing their heads. And from San Marino, a small kingdom with a great soul, we follow the Mediterranean winds to Kotor, the pearl of Montenegro, where the mountains kiss the sea in an endless embrace. The Bay of Kotor unfolds like a slow melody, where each wave gently lapping against the rocks tells a story of a glorious past, from Roman times to the days when it was the commercial center of Venice. Walking through the old town of Kotor is walking through more than 2,000 years of history that still beats under every pebble. The ancient city walls run for more than a kilometer around the mountainside, embracing the village like a strong arm protecting generations. In the alleys, the church bells ring as if recalling memories of a time of war and the desire for peace. But perhaps what moves Kotor the most is the moment standing from the city walls, looking down at the sea, where the sunlight dyes the fill in the city walls. Waters surface golden, and we suddenly understand there are cities that are not only beautiful, but also carry the heartbeat of the souls who once lived, loved, and hoped here. From the ancient city walls of Kotor looking out to the deep blue sea, the journey continues to lead us southeast, to Ohrid, the quiet heart of North Macedonia, where lakes and memories melt into each other. Lake Ohrid, one of the oldest and deepest lakes in Europe, spreads out like a sacred mirror, reflecting both nature and the human soul. The water is so clear that you can see the bottom, just like the past here is transparent to every breath. Ohrid is known as the Jerusalem of the Balkans, with more than 365 churches, a chapel every day. Every street corner is a piece of Byzantine history, still burning in the golden light of mosaics. The boats drifting silently on the lake, the stone steps leading up to the ancient church, all make us feel as if time has chosen Ohrid as its final resting place. Here, people do not live to chase after modernity, but to preserve the pristine beauty and sacredness that nature and ancestors have left behind. Ohrid does not call us with noise, but with silence, deep and clear like the surface of that blue lake. From the deep blue waters of Ohrid, we return to the Iberian Peninsula and stop at Albarracin, a quiet pink village among the barren Rocky Mountains of Spain. Like a dream made of terracotta and sunset, Albarracin makes travelers feel like they are lost in a medieval painting that has never been finished. The houses built of red sandstone are stacked on top of each other along the slope, blending with the color of the earth and the sky, as if nature and people have breathed together, grown old together. The ancient city wall winds around the mountain like a sleeping dragon from the 10th century, still quietly protecting the soul of a Muslim kingdom that has receded into legend. In Albarracin, the wind blows gently through the winding alleys, as if whispering old stories. This is not just a village, but a melody of time, gentle and ancient, reminding us that there are places that do not need to change to survive. They just need to continue breathing in their own rhythm. Leaving the quiet pink of Albarracin, we cross the Tyrrhenian Sea to reach Vieste, a sparkling white pearl on the Adriatic coast of Italy. If Albarracin is an ancient melody, then Vieste is a love song of sun, wind, and waves, where the light spreads over the fine white sand like weaving Mediterranean dreams. With more than 35 kilometers of coastline, Vieste is not noisy, not magnificent, but pure and wild, like the first dawn on the sea. The steep limestone cliffs embrace the small fishing village, where the ancient lighthouse from 1863 still stands guard, like a silent storyteller of many generations of fishermen. When the sun sets, the moonlight shines down on the sea, creating a shimmering silver strip, and at that moment, Vieste is no longer a place name, but becomes an emotion, pure peace in the midst of a chaotic world. We come here not just to look, but to breathe slowly and find the quietest part of our souls. Leaving Vieste, where the waves and the moonlight whisper gentle love songs, we follow the rugged coastline to Amalfi, a city that pours honey from its steep cliffs. Here, each pastel-colored house hugs the mountainside like a note suspended in a Mediterranean symphony. Amalfi is not just a destination, but a state of being, where beauty makes our hearts flutter without reason. Once a maritime power in the Middle Ages, Amalfi carries within it the proud spirit of a city that once ruled over the storms. But today, what holds the traveler's feet is the gentleness, the bright yellow lemon groves, the winding small streets, and the sweet taste of a glass of limoncello in the afternoon sun. Sitting on the balcony overlooking the sea, we suddenly feel that time here does not pass, but melts like sunlight, like the scent of lemon mixed with the sea breeze. Amalfi does not invite with overwhelmingness, but with a quiet question. Have you ever really slowed down to feel every beat of beauty?
Deep underground in New Zealand lies a surreal, shimmering world, the Waitomo glowworm caves. When the light outside gradually fades, the cave ceiling suddenly lights up with thousands of tiny dots of light like a starry sky in the quiet universe. The strange thing is that those lights do not come from adult glowworms, but from glowing larvae. They spin sticky threads in the darkness, quietly waiting for lost prey. The deeper you go, the more all sounds seem to disappear, leaving only the sound of dripping water echoing like an ancient whisper. Legend has it that if you sit still, looking up at the cave ceiling long enough, forgotten memories will quietly appear. Between darkness and light, between present and dream, this place is not just a cave, but a door leading to another world. If Waitomo is a world of gentle light underground, then Lake Natron is a red mirror of life and death, lying quietly in the middle of the Tanzanian desert. From a distance, the blood-red lake looks like a portal to another world. But its surreal beauty hides a cruel truth. The lake's water can reach 50 degrees Celsius with a pH of up to 10.5, enough to burn human skin. Birds or animals that accidentally touch the lake's surface are often petrified, their bodies mummified in a near-perfect state, like works of art from the other world. However, in the midst of that land of death, there is a fragile life blooming. A flock of rare flamingos still choose this place as their only place to breed. They weave vibrant pink patches, soaring against the fiery red background of death. Lake Natron is both terrifying and sacred, a powerful symbol of the thin line between life and destruction, where beauty and death coexist in a hauntingly quiet moment. If Lake Natron is where life challenges death, then Potash Ponds in Utah is a testament to how humans touch nature and accidentally create a surreal picture in the middle of the desert. Deep in the barren red soil, these artificial lakes are not just industrial structures, but from above, they appear like the palette of a mad painter. Turquoise, deep purple, and deep blue, standing out against the sand and rocks. Those unnatural colors are created from potassium minerals, reacting under the harsh sunlight to accelerate the evaporation process, serving the agricultural industry, but also accidentally leaving behind a strange visual masterpiece. The journey to Potash Ponds is not easy. You have to overcome bumpy roads between rocky hills and sandstone. But the loneliness here makes the scene even more surreal, like being lost on an alien planet. In that dry land, nature and human hands have together painted something both technical and mystical, making people unable to look away, but also unable to fully explain. If potash ponds are man-made streaks of color in the desert wilderness, Lake Powell is like a strange blue miracle in the red soil of the American West. A man-made lake that straddles the border of Arizona and Utah, Lake Powell appears like a mirage, deep clear water reflecting the sky and the picturesque sandstone cliffs. In places, the water is more than 500 feet deep, creating the feeling of looking into a bottomless abyss. On sunny days, the lake changes color constantly, from turquoise to purple, then glows red at sunset. The sound echoes off the cliffs, creating mysterious echoes like a call from another world. At night, the starry sky covers the calm lake, giving us the feeling of floating between two galaxies, one in the sky, one underwater. Lake Powell is more than just a man-made lake. It is a place where nature, technology, and silence meet to create a space that is both magnificent and breathtakingly surreal. If Lake Powell is a symphony of water and stone in the burning desert, Fingal's Cave in Scotland is a hymn echoing in the cold ocean. Hidden on the island of Staffa, accessible only on calm days, this legendary cave is made up of hexagonal basalt columns, arranged neatly as if sculpted by a divine hand. Each step on the black rocks is a step into the depths of time, where lava cooled millions of years ago still retains the breath of the earth and sky. The sound echoes in the cave like the singing from an ancient church, when the waves crash against the cliffs, creating sacred, quiet echoes. Celtic legend says that this is the remains of a giant stone bridge connecting Scotland with Ireland, built by the giant Finn McCool.
Whether science or legend, Fingal's Cave is a place beyond the ordinary, where geometric beauty, sound, and darkness combine into an almost metaphysical experience. If Fingal's Cave dazzles us with its surreal balance of rock and sound, Australia's Lake Hillier is a wonder to behold. A natural lake that turns a brilliant pink like a sci-fi painting. Located on Middle Island, Lake Hillier is about 2,000 feet long and over 800 feet wide, surrounded by lush green forest and separated from the blue sea by a thin strip of white sand, creating a spectacular visual contrast of pink, white, and blue. Despite repeated studies, the lake's strange pink hue remains unexplained, possibly due to halophile bacteria Dunaliella salina algae, or a reaction between salt and light. But what is even more special is that the lake water remains pink even when taken out of the lake, as if it carries an eternal miracle. Standing in front of Lake Hillier, people cannot help but wonder, is nature sending some mysterious message, or is it simply teasing the human imagination? If Lake Hillier is a magical gift from pristine nature, then Guangfu Island Innovation Park is a testament to the future, where humans create a world of harmony between technology and nature. Located in the middle of a modern Chinese city, this park is not a normal ecological area, but a smart ecosystem, where light, temperature, and humidity are automatically adjusted by a series of sophisticated sensors. What is special is that the beauty here does not come from splendor, but from a strangely peaceful and intelligent feeling. Concrete walls are replaced by light curtains, thin laser beams that only appear when someone walks through, like a door of light that opens with each beat. Vehicles are completely automatic and run on electricity, quietly moving among the layers of trees growing on the roof, walls, and even hanging spaces. Guangfu is more than just a place to live. It is a manifesto for sustainable living, a futuristic dream realized through both technology and imagination. If Guangfu Island is a vision of the future eco-urban landscape, Kachemak Bay State Park in Alaska is a pristine wilderness landscape, where humans do not control nature, but quietly observe and listen. Spanning over 625 square miles, Alaska's first state park is a living mosaic of wild coastline, dense forests, glaciers, and towering snow-capped mountains that seem to never end. It is home to more than 125 species of fish, countless invertebrates, seals, whales, sea eagles, and even brown bears, all coexisting in a complex but balanced ecosystem. The tidal flats, sparkling with starfish and sea crabs, are a living museum of the ocean. The icebergs, streams, and cliffs here all tell a story of geological history spanning millions of years. A woman once survived a fall into an icy lake by clinging to a snow hare, a reminder that nature here can be harsh, but also benevolent to those who truly understand and respect it. If Kachemak Bay is a majestic symphony of wild nature, Chi City Forest Garden is a gentle melody of green life in the heart of the city, where trees grow densely like a real forest, but right in the middle of a modern city. This is not just a park, but a sophisticatedly designed ecosystem, where the vegetation layers range from low grass, medium shrubs, to towering tree canopies, accurately simulating the structure of a natural forest. In the summer, the garden can reduce temperatures by up to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, making it a green lung amidst the concrete and steel. Some of the trees are even equipped with sensors that change the color of their leaves when pollution levels rise, a living biological alarm system. The chirping of birds, the flitting of squirrels, and the buzzing of insects make this more than just a green space, but a living, breathing organism that responds to the world around it. In the hustle and bustle of life, Chi City Forest Garden is a gentle reminder that stillness and balance can, and should, be cultivated in the heart of the city. If Chi City Forest Garden is a testament to green living in the heart of the city, Huaxi Village, the village dubbed the richest in China, is a strange story about the intersection between rural and modern, tradition and ambition. Nestled in the countryside of Jiangsu, Huaxi is no longer a simple village, but has risen to become a miniature social model with high-rise buildings, automatic electric traffic systems, and modern security. Huaxi is the embodiment of a rare social experiment, where the rural is not urbanized, but evolves into a bold and unprecedented version. It is a place that makes people both admire and wonder, because the boundary between dreams and reality here has never been clear. In the heart of the bustling Guangdong province, Baikeng Villa lies quietly like a strange crack in the picture of China's modernization. A village that was once crowded with residents, now completely abandoned. Not because of natural disasters or war. People left according to the replanning decision. But the strange thing is, they left everything behind. The houses still have tables, chairs, clothes, and even some places still have electricity at night. The roads are clean without human footprints. The stairs are covered with dust, but not collapsed. Everything looks as if the village has just been frozen in time. Baikeng is not as ancient as Pompeii or as mysterious as a European ghost village. It is modern, close to a large city, and that is why it is overwhelming. It is a living testament to the pieces left behind in the development fever, where people leave too quickly, while the soul of a community still lurks in every corner. If there is a place in the world where time slows down as if it is breathing with people, it is Minfu Village. Nestled peacefully among green valleys and surrounding hills, this village is a symbol of a traditional way of life that has been virtually untouched by the modern world. Here, people live in ancient wooden houses built entirely by hand, without a single nail, without reinforced concrete, but still durable through hundreds of rainy and windy seasons. Minfu is famous for the absolute trust between people. Many families live without locking their doors. Handwritten letters are still the main form of communication, and each clan preserves family heirlooms passed down through 3 generations as spiritual treasures. In the middle of the village is a giant ancient tree considered a guardian god, where people burn incense to pray for peace on holidays. Simple but sacred, Minfu is not a tourist destination, but a place where people can regain the feeling of true life. Slow, deep, and full of love. If Minfu village preserves the beauty of the past, Guizhou community is a model for a modern yet inspiring urban future. Nestled in the heart of the mountains, where the terrain is rugged and uneven, this community has created a vertical city with more than 132,000 households living there. Two towers nearly 1,000 feet high rise into the air, connected by more than 50 sky bridges, creating a pedestrian traffic system between buildings without having to go down to the ground. Each floor is a small forest with vertical gardens, flower trellises, and shade trees, turning the entire community into a forest floating in the sky. Special foundation systems help balance the entire structure on the complex mountain terrain, while the elevator takes up to a minute to go from the ground floor to the top, like a mini journey. At Guizhou, technology does not dilute emotions, but helps people live closer to nature in a three-dimensional space, where every step can open up a new ecological layer of modern life. If Guizhou community is a model for a modern city reaching up to the sky, Chapada dos Veadeiros is an ancient land deep in the heart of Brazil, where time is carved into every cliff and every waterfall. This plateau was formed more than 1.8 billion years ago, carrying a layer of quartz rock rich in energy that the indigenous people believe can vibrate the human body when touched. And indeed, many visitors say they feel a strange, light vibration when they put their hands on the cliff, like touching the silent heartbeat of the earth. This place is a paradise for lovers of wild nature. Deep canyons, white waterfalls pouring from a height of hundreds of meters, stone steps stacked like stairs leading to the sky. The light passing through the mist creates a rainbow in the forest, so beautiful that it leaves people speechless. Local legend calls this place the gate between the human world and the other world, a sacred place that is strictly protected. Chapada dos Veadeiros is more than just a geological heritage. It is also a spiritual journey, where beauty and mystery merge into an unforgettable experience. If Chapada dos Veadeiros is an ancient symphony of South American stone and light, then Fenglin Buoye in China is a living painting painted with limestone mountains, traditional wood, and the sound of wind echoing through the centuries. This place is characterized by sharp limestone peaks that rise up close together like a giant stone forest, creating a rare and spectacular scene. In this terrain, more than 600 traditional wooden houses were built without using a single nail. Each house is a testament to the master craftsmanship and deep spiritual beliefs of the Buoye people. when the wind blows through the crevices of the mountains. The sound echoes 3 times, a natural acoustic phenomenon that leaves visitors in awe, as if nature is answering the call of humans. Phenglen Boye is not only a combination of ancient techniques and surreal landscapes, but also a sacred living space, where every echo, every shade carries the breath of tradition, of heaven and earth, and of stories that have never been told. If Phenglen Boye is a harmony of stone and belief, then Wugu Gorge is a mysterious maze where nature proves both majestic and unpredictable. Deep in the rugged mountains of China, Wugu Gorge is made up of steep, spiraling cliffs, hundreds of meters high. As if bent by an ancient invisible hand. The strange rock swirls and natural breaks make this place a mysterious destination for both geologists and those seeking experiences beyond reason. In the early morning, thick fog covers the gorge. Visibility is only a few steps, creating the feeling of entering another dimension. Some visitors have reported hearing whispers and footsteps echoing, even when there is no one around, sounds that make people shiver amidst the surreal beauty. Even more strange, all the trees in the gorge lean in the same direction, a phenomenon that has no clear explanation. Wugu Gorge is a place where science, legend, and human curiosity collide, in silence and in absolute awe. If Wugu Gorge is a land of echoes and unsolved mysteries, Baizhang Waterfall is a place where beauty reaches the level of the surreal, where water, light, and air blend together to create a gateway to a mythical world. With a height of more than 100 meters, about 330 feet, the waterfall falls straight from the cliff like a smooth white silk strip, without breaking into streams, creating a sense of serenity and sacredness. On sunny days, a double rainbow phenomenon often appears in front of the waterfall, making the whole scene seem to be opening a gate between 2 dimensions. The humidity around the waterfall can reach 98%, creating a dense mist all year round. In particular, in winter, the mist created by the waterfall can freeze in mid-air, turning into icicles that float like crystal swords hanging in the sky. A rare magical sight in nature. Baizhang Waterfall is not only overwhelming in its scale, but also leaves a spiritual aftertaste, as if each drop of falling water is a whisper from heaven and earth sent into the wind, into the rocks, and into the hearts of those who stop to listen. If Baizhang Waterfall is a surreal epic between water and ice, then Xinjiang is the largest and wildest symphony that Chinese nature can bestow. Spanning millions of hectares, this land is the only place where you can witness eternal snow, scorching desert and vast grasslands in just one day of travel. Some areas are located up to 500 feet below sea level, creating extreme climatic differences. The day can be hot above 50 degrees Celsius. The night is cold below 0 degrees Celsius. Xinjiang is not just a strange place because of its terrain, but also because of its rare phenomena. Double skies with white clouds floating below a deep blue sky like in a surreal painting, or electronic devices losing signal at high points, believed to be due to an unusual natural magnetic field. On summer nights, traditional music and spinning dances echo across the grasslands, pulling back time. Xinjiang is not simply a place, it is another world where the imagination is challenged and where beauty is so fierce, lonely, and alluring that it is impossible to turn away. If Xinjiang is a place where nature paints an endless picture of contrast, then Mesa Verde National Park in Colorado is a place where human history is etched into stone, an ancient memory alive among the steep cliffs of the American West. Perched at over 2,600 feet, this national park was home to the ancestral Puebloans, an indigenous people who built hundreds of stone structures into the cliffs in the 6th century, and then mysteriously disappeared in the 13th century, leaving no trace of war or disease. The structures here are built of stone and clay, fitted so tightly that not even a knife blade can penetrate between the stones, a testament to the construction techniques that transcended the ages. When the sunset hits the cliff dwellings, the shadows create mysterious images, as if ancient spirits still live somewhere in the mountains. Mesa Verde is not only a world cultural heritage, but also a silent whisper of a lost civilization, leaving behind unanswered questions and unforgettable beauty.